guys, I hope you had a great weekend and I'm super excited to get started on our art project for this week. So we're going to be creating art using different kinds of lines, and there's all kinds of lines that we can learn about. I attached a picture of different kinds of lines next to this video so that you guys can look at it and see the different types of lines that you may or may not be using in your picture today. All right, let's get started. All right, guys, we're going to get started on our abstract leaf picture today. So we are going to draw some leaves first of all, and you're going to want to draw them with a white crayon. But before you do that, I want you to take a piece of paper and let's practice drawing our leaves. What you're going to do is you're going to draw a curved line. You can actually make it kind of like a frown. And then you're going to draw a smile that touches each end of that frown. Watch. Once you've done this, you're just going to make a stem, 2 lines that close up. Very easy. After you've done that, you're going to draw a line down the middle, and you're going to make these that come down your line. And each time, they get a little bit longer. And that is how you make a leaf. Now, we want to take a picture, and we want to make quite a few leaves on our picture, but we want to draw them with our white crayon. So when you get ready to do this, you're going to draw with your white crayon. First, practice your leaves a few more times, and then we'll start with our white crayon. Okay, you're probably not going to be able to see where my white crayon marks are on my paper, but I do have them on here. I'm drawing them on. And I'm going to put quite a few leaves on my paper. So I'll probably put 5 or 6. You can turn them all different directions. That's what I'm going to do. And they can be all different sizes. You can make them large or small. I'm even going to have part of some on my page and part of them hanging off where you can't see all of them, but maybe just the end of some of them. I'm almost finished with this part. Now I'm going to add some watercolor on top of all of this, and an amazing picture is going to show up. Remember, you're using different lines to create your picture. Now I've got my watercolors out, and I'm going to add some water with my brush to my watercolor. And when I add water to my watercolor, I'm petting my paint kind of like I pet a cat's back. So I'm adding water, dropping it in there, and then I'm petting it. I never dig my brush into the watercolor because that will ruin my watercolors. Watercolor is called watercolor because you use a lot of water and just a little bit of color. So I'm going to take my watercolor and I'm going to paint it on top of my paper. I want to paint my entire paper in. Look at that beautiful leaf that's beginning to show up. So the goal in this is to make sure that when you do draw your leaves that you're pressing down really hard with your crayon. If you start painting and you realize that you can't see your crayon, stop, put your paint away, get your crayons back out, and trace over those lines again really hard before you paint anymore. That way your lines will show up. Now I want to switch colors, so I'm going to take my brush, I'm going to rinse it in water really well, and then I'm going to add some water to my next paint color that I want to use. You can use whatever colors you would like to use. And I'm going to add more water periodically to my picture every so often so that I will have paint to use. Isn't it amazing how watercolor doesn't cover up our crayons? Does anybody know why that happens? The reason this happens is because watercolor is made out of mostly water and crayons have oil in them, and oil and water cannot mix. So what happens is the crayon pushes the watercolor away from itself because those two different mediums cannot mix. Now I want to paint my picture with all different colors, and you can really use any colors you like at this point to show your leaf picture. I'm just painting in all different spaces with different colors. Your goal is to get everything painted in. Okay, I have finished painting in my paper with my leaves, and now you can see all the different lines I've used. I've used vertical, curved lines, diagonal lines, and there are many other kinds of lines you could have used in your picture as well. So I hope you enjoyed creating this abstract leaf painting for the fall, and I can't wait to see you guys next week for another art project. Have a great day. Bye, guys.